Sister Ella here, Salesian sister. Last week, on Friday, it was the feast of Margaret Clitheroe, Saint Margaret Clitheroe, one of the hundreds of martyrs during the time of the Reformation. Margaret was married at 15 years of age in York, where she lived all her life, the beautiful city of York. And she was married to a butcher, and his shop was in the Shambles. And if you go to York today, you can visit that shop, which is now, it's been made into a little chapel. And in that property, there were hiding places for priests, because at that time, in the 16th century, it was a capital offence to be a Roman Catholic priest, because the Reformation, they were trying to do away with the Catholic faith and to accept the fact that the Church of England was supreme. The head of the Church of England was the king or the queen of the realm, totally cut off from Rome, and the priests were enemies of the state. And for a man to be a priest was a capital punishment, when he would be hanged, drawn and quartered. He would be killed, martyred for the faith. Now, Margaret had become a Catholic when she was 18. Her husband always remained, he wasn't a Catholic, but he did permit her to harbour priests, to hide priests in their property, in their shop, and they lived above the shop. In their place, he allowed it. So Margaret had 3 children, and she taught herself to read, and she opened like a little school which she taught her for her own children and taught the children of the neighbours. So life went on like that, but hiding priests from the authorities. She was imprisoned several times because she would not attend the Church of England services. She just wouldn't go to them, and that was noted, and she was imprisoned several times for that. Eventually, she was arrested, and she wouldn't plead because of the effect it would have on her children's future. So she wouldn't plead guilty or not guilty, she just wouldn't plead. And as a result, she was condemned to death. She was laid on very, very, very sharp stones, and a heavy, heavy weight was pressed down on her, and she was crushed to death at the age of 33. Mother of 3 and the wife of the butcher. A heroic woman who considered it worth dying for her faith. Her daughter, she was later imprisoned for the same reason that her mother had been in prison several times. She spent 4 years in prison, but eventually she must have got out, and anyway, she got to Belgium, became a sister actually, became a nun, and the 2 boys became priests. God has his own way of working. But Margaret Clitheroe, in fact, There are two other women martyrs celebrated, their feast celebrated the same day as Margaret Clitheroe, Anne Lyne and Margaret Ward. So if you go to York, the beautiful city of York, and visit the beautiful Minster, which of course was Catholic at one time, go to the Shambles. It's still quite a busy little market street, and you will find the butcher's shop, which is now a little chapel. Let us remember our martyrs, what they have done, what they have lived for us, to hold on to the truth of the Catholic faith. God bless you all.